Wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for September 2nd, 2020. We're back at the Daily's Place once again. We got some fans out in attendance. They're all wearing their mask, well, except for the wrestlers who are ringside, where some of them are wearing masks. I don't know why they don't all match, so they all look blended together, but apparently they just decide that they don't need to. Well, I guess they've all been tested, so maybe they don't necessarily have to? I don't know. Is that how it works? Excalibur is back. Same mask. He's actually wearing a mask, but just like a wrestling mask, as he always does. Whether you wanted to see that or not, he's back with the same attitude. I guess he's paid for his penance. I don't know how that works. If he says something else offensive or something else comes out that happened in the past, like if it happened a year or 2 years before or after, does the original suspension cover that? Or does he have to pay for each video that goes viral? I don't really know. But for now, he's back. And first match is Santana and Ortiz taking on the Best Friends. And the Best Friends, they rushed Santana and Ortiz during their entrance. Of course, they're still mad about their mother's van being vandalized, being tires taken off, paint all across it. And Santana and Ortiz have not been very respectful to Trent's mom, okay, with the remarks that they've said. So, of course, they are very upset, very, very upset. And Best Friends, they got to stick up for each other. So here they are wrestling. Trent does a stage dive to break up this melee that's happening up outside. It's cool that we see the exact same stage dive every single week. It just makes it so much special, so much more special. In other news, I'm going to be having cake every single day this week because, it just makes me feel special. So they do that. Now, Chuck Taylor, he's setting up a whole bunch of chairs outside. Chairs face-to-face fortress style, if you know what I'm saying. He's looking to do some devastation with this, obviously. They haven't even got in the ring yet. They're basically just fighting back and forth over here. Now, Chuck Taylor, he ends up going through this chair fortress that he set up. Which is just tragic for him. This is kind of looking like what you might call a garbage match, just with all of the weapons. I'm like, this isn't even a pay-per-view, and these guys are going in on each other like absolutely crazy. They even got stairs set up on the outside. The wrestling match starts once Trent gets in the ring. No real surprise there, because of course it does. And just like his wrestling name, Trent, he's only got one of the two names. That's just like him. He's got the one guy, and the other guy's not even in this thing. Santana and Ortiz. You got Santana put Ortiz's leg, he put his arm, I think it was, he put his arm up on the rope right in front of the referee. So he saw the hand go up, so he had to have seen the other guy help him put the hand up there. Maybe he was obstructed. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but it feels like the referee should have been able to detect that assist right there. But even if he did see it, this is AEW. Plus FTR is not in this match, so the rules don't necessarily have to be enforced like they do in the FTR match, where they have to use the rules and they have to use the tag rope. Even though they're bad guys? Well, they're not in this match, so we don't have to worry about that here at this moment. But, Santana and Ortiz, they use an extendable rod to the back of the Friends, and Santana and Ortiz, they get the pinfall here. And, Best Friends cannot be happy about this. They basically tried to come in strong, they tried to come in tough, they tried to use weapons, and it didn't work. Santana and Ortiz are dirtier players as they use that rod to assist in the win. So you can't outdo them. You guys, you Best Friends, you're too wholesome for these guys. They took your mom's van and destroyed it into pieces. They broke the glass. I don't think that you're going to be able to outdo them like this. My chair is making some squeaky sounds, so if you hear that, I apologize to your ear region, all right? So look, we got MJF. He is trying to cut a promo, but he's interrupted by the news that the lawyer guy doesn't want to wrestle tonight. Of course, last week a match was set in place because the lawyer, MJF's lawyer, didn't read, page 17, and now he has to wrestle Jon Moxley. And he can use the paradigm shift. I saw on YouTube that MJF was trying to have someone train the lawyer, and it wasn't working so well. He was very scared. And I got scared because I thought, wow, this is not going to turn out well for the main event of AEW Dynamite. But I was actually surprised. We're going to get to that. But MJF tries to give the pep talk. Wardlow just kicks down the locked door, and MJF talks to the lawyer and says, and MJF talks to the lawyer as if he is a wrestler, which, I mean, I know he is a wrestler, but you can't make him like he is a wrestler because he's a lawyer. He's your lawyer. If he turns out being an actual wrestler this whole time, then we have to accept the idea that every single person involved in any storyline ever is secretly a professional wrestler, which I guess you could do, but that would definitely need to be well established with your promotion, which AEW doesn't do that. So we'll see how they handle this in the main event. We're going to see. I had my eyes peeled. I had my fingers typing. I was like, I'm going to take some notes, and then I'm going to read them. I'm going to do them on this little review, and I'm going to talk about them. So let's talk about this next match. We got SCU versus the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, and the winners face each other at All Out. And I was like, what are they talking about? Winners face each other? You mean the losers are no longer in the match? Like, you have this team versus team versus team, and the loser just gets knocked out, and then at the pay-per-view you just have the two remaining teams, one who won and then one who didn't lose? But they did lose, but they didn't get pinned. So whoever doesn't get pinned gets to fight another day. Okay, well, SCU comes out, then the commercials, everybody else comes out except for the Young Bucks during the commercials that we can't see. Of course, the Young Bucks have to have their entrance because they have to show us how upset and how mad they are. They don't even pose. They don't even do their little thing, right? They come out and they're angry. Why? Because Paige had attacked them, and that was such a freaking betrayal that they're just like, ooh, I'm so mad. You know, like just like I said last week, I don't understand why they're so mad. They should have seen this coming from a mile away. But alas, here we are. The Bucks unleash on Private Party. They have a fan, not a wrestler, but just like a fan ringside with a Hangman Page sign, like drink my beer, and he has a beer in his hand. Okay. This would not have bothered me if they would have at any time established the idea that they had fans ringside. Yes, I know they do have fans, and those fans are at the show, but they are not. They are not, in fact, ringside. The wrestlers are ringside. So why they did it like this is ridiculous. So you have all these months of wrestlers ringside at AEW. Now all of a sudden you just have a random fan, and we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, they're letting random fans ringside now. Oh, I know, they haven't done that or established that or mentioned it or talked about it or shown that or wrote an article, but you're just supposed to know it in this exact moment when they want to do a segment or a little spot where one of the Young Bucks takes the beer, it takes a sign, like throws it, tears it, whatever he did, and then pours the beer on the fan. Okay, that would have worked if it was previously established, which it wasn't. So it just comes off as a bad joke, which, I mean, we're supposed to think that they're all angry and huffy and puffy, and yeah, but what's the point of looking aggressive and mad if your spot doesn't look believable and it comes off as kind of a joke? That's my point. Kazarian looked good in this match after a fury of flips, dives, and impressive double team moves. BTE trigger and the Bucks win, beating Private Party, which means that, yes, let me make sure, what does Wikipedia say? Yes, it is going to be in a tag team match, Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks. While FTR has a match against Kenny Omega and Adam Page. So I'm hoping that there's some interplay between those two so we can finally see some Bucks and FTR. Or is that just gone? Is that just over? Is that just over? Seriously? I don't like that. But anyways, yeah, the Bucks win, so big surprise. They've been using the BTE trigger a lot recently, so I imagine that's going to be a big contention in the match. I'm going to go with that. So Hager, he is backstage with Cassidy. Cassidy's hanging out. Hager comes in and he says, hey, you need to be ringside for Jericho's match. Cassidy puts his leg on Hager, basically just giving him like a, hey, F you, buddy. And then Hager promptly swaps them legs off and says it would be smart to be there. So that was pretty cool. Tully gives a pep talk to his boys FTR. Now we see Tony interviewing Kenny Omega, and Kenny is wearing orange pants. I don't think this is in commemoration of the Mimosa Mayhem match, but they kind of look like a mimosa in color, that is. And yeah, what's the deal with Hangman Page? You know, he was looking all rough, he was looking all this, and then he didn't attack him, he just helped the Young Bucks get distracted and lose. So, I mean, huge. Page says or Hangman, hold on. I'm confusing myself. Omega, okay? He says that Page is going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life. Are you serious? The time that Page lost all his sleep and his eyes looked like he had makeup all over him, and he grabbed the leg of one of the Bucks, costing them a match. That is the thing he's going to regret for the rest of his life. But regardless of any of that that's going on, he's still going to tag with them, that being Omega. Omega and Page are the tag team champions, and they're still going to have their match. And that's what's important. So yeah, I don't really see what the huge stakes of this are. It's just like, I saw that coming. You should have saw that coming. Why are you so surprised? They're still surprised. I'm very confused. Well, FTR comes down and they have a cooler. And they give a chocolate milk, which they kept calling chalk. You gotta have your chalk. No one has ever told me like, hey bro, you wanna have a chalk? But yeah, so, you know, I do like the chalk, I must say. But anyways, the chalk, however, makes me the chunk. I gotta stay away from such things. But Dax and Cash, for whatever reason, they're wearing different jackets than the custom-made ones they were wearing in literally the last segment. But okay, Page comes down looking like he's still hungover. He's got those two black eyes or whatever is going on with him. And FTR tries to say that it wasn't them. It's Page's own fault. So they're trying to get in the heads of Adam Page. And, you know, they're trying to make FTR to be some kind of malicious bad guys. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. They started out their promo stuttering in the ring with Omega, which was just not a good look. I mean, it's hard to look like a badass when you're stuttering. It sucks. I mean, I stutter. But if I was gonna be like, I'm gonna beat you up, man, you would probably not be intimidated. So FTR, they have the belts in their hands at some point at the end of this thing. Page demands that he gives them the belts back, which, not a good look. And then FTR just drops them like a hot potato, which FTR, of all people, like, we gotta have our rules in place. We respect wrestling so much that we're gonna hold the tag ropes, but we're also gonna throw the tag team championships on the ground like they're trash. Who's writing this? You would have thought that Dax and Cash would have been like, yeah, bro, how about we not throw the titles on the ground like they're garbage? You could say that they were doing that as a way to disrespect Page, and it's like, yeah, but they still should have a little more respect, especially them. They're so old school. I just thought it was weird. It was weird seeing them throw. I was like, why'd you do that? You went so far. It's like them taking scissors and cutting the tag ropes in half. I'd be like, oh, I thought that you respected this. Anyways, so yeah. Jericho's interviewed in a pyramid jacket about his mimosa match, so I'm sure you're excited about that. The mimosa match is at the pay-per-view, so I hope you saved up your money. Not on mimosas, but for the pay-per-view coming up this Saturday. Now we got Jericho and Hager. It's just Jericho versus Joey Janela, the bad boy, as he calls himself. So Cassidy comes out slowly with the backpack ringside, as he was instructed by Hager. Jericho is wrestling in a Cassidy shirt, so yes, Jericho is wrestling in a t-shirt. And I hate to say this, but I do think that Jericho's best days are behind him. Or maybe they're in front of him, or all around him. The dude's having to wear a shirt. Now, I know it was part of the angle, but kind of seems like it might be happening a little more often these days. So, Walls of Jericho, Jericho wins. Post-match beatdown on Janela. And Janela's bloody. He rubs Janela's blood on the Orange Cassidy shirt that Jericho's wearing, takes it off, throws it. Cassidy gets angry with this. He runs in the ring with a backpack for some reason and gets beat up by Hager and Jericho. Then Sonny Kiss comes out of nowhere, because remember, Sonny Kiss is tag team partners with Joey Janela. He tries to help. He gets attacked. Jericho gets out of the ring when Cassidy fires back up, which I thought, wow, he's backing down from Cassidy. So he gets the backpack and pulls out a bubbly and pours it on the ground. Yeah, so get out your cash and get ready to pay for this pay-per-view. I don't care. I've seen this match twice. This is the third match. And yeah, they've had some cool little antics, I guess. I like both of these guys. I think that Orange Cassidy has a lot of talent. I mean, I really do. I think that his gimmick is definitely different, and it's very polarizing to a lot of people. But it works to me. It works with this audience, so I can't really complain about it. Sammy and Matthew Hardy, they have like a little card battle with each other during the commercial break, and even after. Oh yeah, by the way, if Matt loses, he's done. So he's done with AEW. So don't go, Matt. What are they doing? Okay, yeah, so Team Taz, they come down. Taz is in shorts, which honestly look fine because he has those big calves going on. And I'm not talking about Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. They got the Yo Kid, Bring It On, just like Limp Bizkit. If you want to try to tell me that is not a Limp Bizkit ripoff from like 2000 or 1999, come at me, because it totally is. So Darby, they say he's dead meat. Lance Archer can't deal with Brian Cage. Jake comes out, says you won't bust a nut in this ring with Lance Archer. Eddie Kingston comes down to interrupt and give his spiel. And Eddie says he's tougher than Lance Archer, which I laughed out loud. Shawn Spears walks down and just kind of saunters around. Taz calls Archer a punk ass. Everyone fights, including Billy Gunn. They have a mini battle royal, so if you're really excited about battle royals, then, well, you're seeing one right now. So I hope you're ready to see another one in a couple of days when you pay money. So yeah, best friends come down. It's mayhem. Everyone's fighting, and they go through the break. Now we have the Dark Order and the Nightmare Family video package. We don't even have Cody Rhodes on this show, but I'm excited about this match. Don't really care about the Dark Order. I just want to see the Nightmare Family get their retribution. It could have been against anybody. I just don't care about the Dark Order. I don't find them interesting. I think Brody Lee is kind of I thought he was going to come in there and be great, or at least a huge part. I mean, he's a huge guy, but I just don't care. I just don't care about what he's doing. Now we have Thunder Rosa. She is the NWA Women's Champion, taking on Serena Deeb. So, non-AEW people here on this AEW show having a match. Aggressive lockup. I loved it. Even JR was putting it over, talking about how good of a match it was. He couldn't stop noticing how these were great talents, and these aren't even AEW talents. That's the point here. It's like he had to kind of bring himself back and stop putting them over so hard, because it's like, wow, these girls are really good. Unlike our own talent. Yikes. So Thunder Rosa gets the pin, and AEW does have some very good talent, but this was way better than their just typical everyday regular match that they have. It just was. In my opinion. So Moxley, he is the champion. He is the AEW champion. He's hanging out with Pallets backstage. His big go-home promo here is that MJF and all his campaign, all his media, he's going to be dealing with a lot, but at the pay-per-view, it's just going to be them two. So it was a sort of okay promo, but man, this is a go-home show. Swole is with Tony Schiavone, and Swole and Baker are going to get their big match after all this build-up, and to me, some very interesting stuff, some creative stuff, some funny stuff, some well-placed comedy. And it's going to happen on the pre-show, yes, on the buy-in, so ouch. If I was Big Swole, I'd be feeling the big ouch right now. And for Britt Baker as well. She's making her big return, big thing for the women's division. It's not even going to be on the actual pay-per-view. It'll be for free. So, yes, Big Swole, her eye makeup, it made her look like her eye was crooked, which, you know, if your eye's not crooked, you probably shouldn't do anything to make it look crooked, is all I'm saying. It's like, what's going on here? Like you just got slapped? Like something happened to your eye? What happened? Because I know it doesn't look like that all the time, and when you take off your makeup, it's going to be back to the way it was. Rebel shows up in a disguise. No, not in a wrestling gear, just as a pizza delivery lady, which I've never seen a pizza delivery lady like that in real life. But Britt Baker attacks from behind when Big Swole realizes that this is not an actual pizza person delivering her a pizza in the middle of a promo. And yeah, Swole gets her face smashed into pizza. She gets a face lock, gets that grip on her. And yeah, they will have their match at the buy-in. It'll be a tooth and nail match, which I assume is just like, you know, a nickname or something, but not an actual tooth and nail. Like they're not going to have a giant tooth and giant nails, and that's going to be incorporated in the match. But hey, you never know. You never know. Okay, now it's the main event. It is Moxley versus the inattentive lawyer, as it was listed there on the screen. No entrance for the lawyer. Mark Sterling is just in the ring. I loved his look. You know, he looked ridiculous. He had a full bodysuit, which was good. I was concerned that they were going to be like, well, he's in wrestling gear. Man, look at his tan. Look at his great shaving that he's done to himself. He's in phenomenal shape. He looks like a wrestler. And now he's having a wrestling match and tying up. They didn't do any of that. They had him dressed up like a goof. Had his knee pads on the outside. Moxley leaves his jacket on because he's not worried about this. He gives free shots. Moxley slaps back, tosses this man around, doesn't really do any moves, just throws him around, tosses him around, slaps him, that kind of stuff. But inside of the ring, a huge paradigm shift, which will be illegal at the pay-per-view, but not illegal here. And Moxley, of course, gets a pinfall victory here in the main event. Wardlow comes down with two F10s, like on my keyboard, which I guess F5 is on my keyboard too, but see, F5 is like the highest grade of a tornado, and F10 doesn't exist. So, I mean, I get it, but why not just call it like F million? I don't know, man. I already not give enough Fs for this. But MJF walks down with his walker, and he takes his walker, throws it, takes off his neck brace, so he's 100%. Oh, just like Britt Baker. So they did two segments in one night exactly, well, not exactly the same, but somebody who was severely injured and now is no longer injured at all. So, okay. Yeah, MJF attacks Moxley. Moxley is bloody, and he's going crazy. He's just a madman. MJF is incensed. He's like, he's got blood all over his face. He's got that title. He thinks he's going to win. So this makes me think that MJF doesn't have a chance of winning the championship, just the way they ended this with him being so dominant and angry and all of this kind of stuff. But, you know, AEW, I don't think it would be a bad thing. Let me tell you, I think it would be okay, because, hear me out, Moxley, he's good. He's the number one PWI wrestler in the whole universe. Or in the North America, I don't know. I really don't know if that's the entire world. But either way, he's a number one wrestler according to PWI, however they do their metrics. Like, do they do people from China? I don't know. But, yeah, you might be number one on paper, but the promos haven't been that interesting to me from him. His interplay has been good, but just him, I just don't know him against other people right now, going in other feuds. Him as the champion, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something different. MJF, I think it would be fine. I mean, sure, he doesn't have the experience as Jon Moxley, but, not everybody's going to be 100% ready ever, right? And it's just the simple fact that Jon Moxley was in WWE, he had all these championships, he had all these opportunities, he had all these WrestleManias, so of course he has more experience. He's not going to be able to top that, not now, not for several years. So hey, give MJF a chance. I think him as a heel champion would be awesome. Having whoever the face is chasing him, trying to beat him, but he's got his crew, he's got his whole little stable if they keep that. At least he has Wardlow. And one day, Wardlow's going to turn on him, and that will be one hell of a match to see. MJF a champion versus Wardlow, this big monster that he's been suppressing, getting a championship match, a championship opportunity. So that's it, man. All Out 2020 is this Saturday, and I haven't looked up the price yet. I wish it was free, but I think I gotta pay for it. Oh no! But hey, I will catch you guys next time.